Okay, I think we're finally up. Holy smokes. Wow, it has been a headache trying to get everything going. Oh, it looks like it was Adobe Creative Cloud screwing everything up. Get out of here. Alright, I'm playing with the focusing now. I'm going to play with the focus for quite a bit. Try to get it dialed in here. Yeah, unfortunately tonight, right now, it's not that high over the horizon, and we are looking right through the jet stream. So 150 mile per hour winds of just varying temperatures. All you can see a bit of the atmosphere up here. That's neat. But yeah, I'll try to get the focus dialed in as it comes up higher over the horizon and starts lifting through. It'll get over the really violent part of the jet stream, and seeing should stabilize quite a bit after that. I mean, it's not terrible now. We're seeing some pretty good detail here. But yeah, this is kind of the fun part about planetary viewing. You know, you get this kind of mediocre seeing, but you just have to be patient. And then, sometimes you'll get that super crisp moment of clarity where you see all this detail, and then, it's really exciting when you finally get that moment where everything clicked and you see some really good stuff. But yeah, I'm seeing quite a bit of the atmospheric color around the edge, that kind of blue haze. That's pretty cool. Let me see if I can get the focus a little better here. Feel free to chat if you're here. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're watching from. I will try to get Mars dialed in here for you. See, I've got this is the focuser controller down here. And I'm just moving it a little bit at a time. Trying to get it dialed in perfectly. It's hard when it's this wobbly to tell when you're in focus. But if you just move it a little bit and then be patient, sometimes the atmosphere will really stabilize and let you know how close you are. Oh, my wife is watching from my back. Hey, you want to come down here and switch it to the infrared filter for me? The views are coming from inside the house. That is creepy. You are a creepy wife. That looked pretty close right there, but I'll try to get it from the outward direction so the mirror is resting the right way. Hey, Mike. That's pretty good right there. I think we'll just let it sit there for a while and see if it'll stabilize. Nope, Steve, that's as far as it goes. Sorry. Can you guys hear the music? There's supposed to be music playing, like spacey music. And is it too loud or too quiet? Kaylee found this music for me, by the way, so thank her for the background music. Later in the evening, in a couple hours, this big plateau that we're just seeing come over the horizon is going to rotate around into view, and that is where the new Perseverance rover is going to be landing. So that's pretty exciting. We'll be seeing that landing site tonight. I wish we'd be able to be here for when Olympus Mons comes around. Hello, this is my wife. She found the music for us. Oh wait, no, now I hear it. See, it doesn't look too bad. We might get some good moments here as it climbs a little higher in the sky. It's still pretty low.
I'm excited. It's good.
You can see the little polar cap down here. It's dramatic how much that has shrunk in the last few months now that we're getting into the Martian summer in the southern hemisphere.
Martian summer sounds like a sweet band.
Martian summer. Check out the latest single from Martian Summer. Oh, my friend Jill says her internet is out. But she might be here later if it comes back on. Yeah, Jeremy, that's the big question. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. Good to see you. Kaylee let me get a nice nap today. so that I could stay up a little bit later with this. I got about 3 hours of sleep already. So if I go up till like 1 or 2 in the morning, get another 3 hours, and then go to work, I should be fine. But yeah, the seeing does not look terrible. I'm hoping for some clear moments here. Let me see if we can get the focus a little bit better. Now the problem with that 11-inch Edge HD is yeah, should be fine. Is that it is such a huge chunk of aluminum that it really shrinks as it gets colder. So, oh wait, that looks good, right? That looked really good for a second. I think we'll just leave it there. So it shrinks dramatically as the temperature drops. So you always have to play with the focus. Yeah, Mike, this is just a live image from my telescope. I'm not doing any recording now. I haven't played with this enough to know that, to be sure that if I hit that record button, it's not going to crash the whole thing. So I'm not imaging tonight. Just a live view from the telescope. Just got my camera hooked up to it. Oh yeah, that should be fine. Hey, Jill, you made it. I'm trying to find a good map of Mars so that we can talk about what we're looking at here, because I don't have all this stuff memorized, of course. This one looks like it might be good. Yeah, okay.
What tarnation?
Okay, yeah, this dark area coming right over the horizon here is called Syrtis Major, and that's where the new Perseverance rover is going to be landing on Kaylee's birthday, by the way.
Now everyone knows
Yeah, Mike, this is. Oh yeah, the new telescope. Yeah, my daughter nailed my new 11-inch Edge HD with a golf ball. I think it was yesterday. She just whipped a golf ball against it. I don't, you know, just kid stuff. Only one cat, Kaylee, is deaf. Hello from Portland. I told my kids this was a planet in space, and now I'm getting asked where the aliens are. They're right here. Kiara, the aliens were here all along.
The aliens were inside us the whole
The
time.
aliens are inside of us. Hey, Arami.
I shared the stream on my page.
Oh, cool. Did I need to go to Facebook and like hit like activate the event, or is it automatic?
People already got notified that it's starting.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I've never done this before. Whoops. Now, before too much longer, I'm going to have to go out and adjust the atmospheric dispersion corrector, because you're going to start to see some fringing as it starts to get a little bit higher over the horizon there.
You gonna put the infrared filter on?
Nah, I don't know. I mean, do you guys want to see what it looks like in infrared light? Actually, the detail's better, it's just there's no color, ideally. Yeah, hang on, I'll go put the infrared light filter on for a minute and see. So they can see what that looks like. Oh, where should I put this? Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, now I need to adjust the focus a little bit because the infrared wavelength does not focus at the same point as the visible light. But you can see how much clearer the detail is in infrared light because it gets through the atmosphere so much better. Let me play with the focus a little bit. Okay, hey, that looks pretty good. Yeah, you can see in infrared, I mean, you can see all this detail down here. I think Yeah, the Hellas Planeta, Prometheus Terra. It's all these features down here, but yeah, it's a. How much is our atmosphere? Yeah, the atmosphere affects the color wavelength dramatically because it's a shorter wavelength, so it's easier to deflect. You know, to deflect it. The particles in the atmosphere, the shorter the wavelength is, the easier it is to knock it off course. The infrared wavelengths are longer, so they kind of just power through it. But yeah, you can see the detail is so. The way I do images a lot is I do one image in infrared and one image in color, and then I use the infrared for the surface detail, and then the color image to color it in. And it makes a pretty nice image. Yeah, we were getting some brief moments of pretty good clarity there. One 150 frames per second. Dang it, I did not want to do a 40-step move. That was an accident. Yeah, the Hubble uses a few different. I'm not sure which area of the spectrum that the Hubble does, but yeah, a lot of images you see in science books are done like by the Chandra Observatory, and that images in X-rays, and they use a lot of different wavelengths beyond the visible spectrum to kind of reveal what's out there. I'm gonna hit a capture. If the whole thing explodes, I'm sorry. But that we're starting to get some pretty good moments of clarity there. I'm gonna try to do a capture here. So let's see what happens. Looks like it's working. So what we do here is just record video. We're recording at almost 150 frames per second. And then the software is able to take it, you see it just like flash into view really rapidly, and the software is able to take all those frames and average them out and decide what looked clear and what didn't, and make a nicer image out of this wobbly mess. It's going to be like 17,000 or 30,000 frames, and it turns all of those frames of video, it averages them into one image. I could probably do that live right here if you guys wanted to watch that.
Everybody wants to watch. Your stuff is interesting.
Although it'll take a long time to transfer that onto my computer, and I don't know if that's gonna mess up the stream.
Well, maybe start a new stream when you're ready to do that.
I'll try it, and if it crashes it, we'll just start over. See, to do that, I will have to. Well, I might be able to. I don't know if I can like minimize this. Hey, Trevor. Nice to see you. That's Mars. That's Mars in infrared light. We're looking at infrared right now because it's still kind of low on the horizon. So when you're looking at it, at like 20 or 30 degrees over the horizon, you're looking through a lot of atmosphere. and that really, messes it up a lot more than, when it gets right up overhead, you're just looking through a much narrower slice of the atmosphere, and there's a lot less interference. So ideally, around midnight or 1 o'clock, when it's nice and high in the sky, this will look really, really nice. I'll probably switch it back to color pretty soon. 30 seconds left on the capture. Make sure I don't run it off the screen here. So what we're looking at here on Mars is this region kind of over here on the right. This big Syrtis Major is just coming over the horizon. That's this spot right here. Can I buy equipment to pick up X-rays? I don't know. I'm not sure they make it through the atmosphere. I don't know if you can image an X-ray or not. Do X-rays go through the atmosphere? The gas absorb radiation in certain X-rays cannot pass through the atmosphere. So, like the Chandra Observatory, I think, is out in space. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of wavelengths, like you can't image and I can't take, like my camera can pick up UV light, but I cannot take UV pictures of things in outer space because it doesn't make it through the atmosphere. I didn't know that about X-rays, but yeah, apparently X-rays don't really make it through the atmosphere very well either. Just playing with the focus to try to get it really dialed in here.
Is that what kids call it these days?
Playing with my focus. What are you doing in the shower? You've been in there for a half hour. I'm dialing in my focus, Mom.
Dial in your focus so much you'll go blind.
That looks pretty good. Quit playing with your focus knob. All right, I'm going to do one more infrared capture, and then I'm going to run out and switch it to a visible light. Yeah, plus the chat is delayed, so by the time we crack a joke, and by the time you guys see it, and by the time we see your response, it's going to be
That moment has passed.
The moment has passed. There's no such thing as comedic timing in a live stream with the chat.
Also, though, everything is happening for me twice because I'm watching it on my phone.
Oh.
And I hear you say the things first, and then I see the messages pop up on your chat first, and then a second later they pop up on mine.
You're gonna
and
rip.
then everything happens like 5 seconds later
Oh,
again.
jeez, you're gonna rip a hole in the space-time continuum with all that stuff. Kaylee's gonna cause a time paradox over here. If you start shaking, needing to fart, get really angry.
Let's do the time warp again.
Well, what were all the symptoms of a time paradox from Umbrella Academy?
Oh, yeah.
I just remember needing to fart a lot.
Right.
And getting murderous. Needing to fart and getting
Paranoia.
Yeah.
Needing to pee a lot.
Oh yeah, peeing a lot.
It's just really weird hearing our whole conversation back again, like 5-10 seconds later.
How do we sound?
Married.
Okay, a minute left in this capture. Then I'll go. I'm gonna run out there, switch to visible light, try to get it focused, and then do another capture, and then I'll try to combine those two into a single image. Jill says that's her normal state. Maybe you're stuck in a time paradox, Jill.
There's another Jill somewhere.
All the
nearby.
all the peeing and farting and murderous thoughts are a time paradox. It's not your fault. Yeah, we had some good moments of seeing this. This is like a really big feature. Just coming over the limb of the planet. Called the Hellas Plantina.
Where?
This thing right here. It's like a big clear spot. You can kind of see it.
It says Hellespontus.
Planitia?
Right there?
No, well that's the mountain ridge next to it.
Where? Oh, I see.
Right here.
Okay.
Hellas Planitia. I don't know the names of any of this crap. Okay, hang on. I gotta get out there and switch the filter.
It's like the Lion King. I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah, you can see the. What happened?
Nothing.
I gotta try to get the focus dialed in quickly here. That's pretty good, I think. The seeing's gotten worse, though. Oh, great. Paul's here. Come on, focus. Hey, there we go. Yeah, that's not too bad. No, and then once we get this image, we'll transfer. I'll get them both transferring over, and that's going to take like 20 minutes at this distance. My laptop's pretty far away, so it'll be a slow. It's only going to transfer at like 5 megabits per second, minus whatever bandwidth the remote connection's using up. That's looking pretty good. The seeing is better than I thought it would be at this point in the evening. That's not bad. A Mars day is like 20, 23, 22 hours. It's close to an Earth day. Let me look. Why don't you Google it, Mike, and tell us? 1 day, 0 hours, and 37 minutes. So yeah, it's a 24 hours, 37. Whoa, Mars, where are you going? Buddy, come back. Must have had a gust of wind hit the mount. So yeah, it's only 37 minutes different from an Earth day. And the year is almost twice as long. So that's why Mars opposition is once every 2 years. Because it makes, one orbit while we make 2 orbits. And it was at its closest point to Earth yesterday. But it was cloudy and crappy outside. And its opposition is actually this Tuesday. Opposition means when the Earth is directly between the Sun and Mars. So they're forming as straight a line as possible during that cycle of their orbits. Faster than light at the equator? No. I don't know exactly how fast it is, but it's not that fast. Yeah, it's right now. It's over in the east right now, just coming up over Lake Erie. If you step outside and look to the east, it is the gigantic orange jewel. About like 30 or 40 degrees off the horizon. All right, Steve, good night. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, Mars won't be this close again to Earth for another 15 years. No, every time we get closer to it, because the orbits are parabolic, every time for the next 15 years it's going to be farther away. It's going to be farther away for 7 years and then slowly get closer, and then in 15 years it'll be this close again. And then in 17 years it'll be even closer, I think. But yeah, you can definitely see a hint of the atmosphere up here on the top right corner. Yeah, elliptical, sorry. That's what I meant. We're going to do a capture. That's looking pretty good.
Steve's gonna haunt us.
Good time for it. It's almost Halloween.
Oh, I think I might go lay down.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yep. Good night.
Night.
Love you. Steve's a builder. He could get in even if the doors are locked. All right, that was 50,000 frames. I'm gonna get this 16 gigabytes. Okay, that's gonna take a while to transfer over, but I will get it going, and when it's done at 1 megabyte per second. Let's see. I'm just waiting. I want to see how much time it says. Too long. Doesn't seem to be messing up the stream though, so that's good. Oh, there was some. Okay, yeah, there's quite a bit of lag there. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to. 3 hours and 15 minutes. You know, I should have done this on an external hard drive so I could just bring it in and do it. You know, it's not too late. I could go set. Well, I would have to cancel the stream to do that. Dang, seeing is starting to look pretty good. No, that's not the internet. That's just because my laptop is way outside. It's far. My laptop's really far away from the router, so it's only transferring at like 1 megabit per second. No, I'm serious. It's actually much better when my laptop's closer. How do I know it wasn't sarcasm? That was the backlash falling out of my telescope because I just moved it to the east. We were getting some good moments of seeing there. That wasn't too bad. That was a lot better than it was the other night. All right, good night, Mikey. Thanks for tuning in. Must be getting some wind gusts out there. It keeps opening up the backlash. Dang, that was good. Well, yeah, I mentioned it before, but that's kind of the thrill of planetary viewing. kind of set yourself up and just hope for those moments of really nice clarity. And then, you know, you see some cool stuff. But yeah, this is looking like maybe a 7 out of 10 for seeing right now. The last time I tried to do this, it was like 5 out of 10. It was bad. Well, I could probably capture a lot longer than 3 minutes. I think you could do like 4 or 5 minutes with Mars because it does not rotate very quickly. Not 400 minutes. Four minutes. We'll try 4 minutes. I've never gotten 300 frames per second though. I don't know why it's going so fast all of a sudden. I mean, it's dropping a lot, but just... And the rate is changing wildly. I wonder why. I'm trying to think of something I've changed since then. I can't think of anything. Because the most I've ever had it up before was like 180 frames per second. I'm gonna go get a beer. I'll be right back. So yeah, it is a little bit gusty outside. So when you see Mars just kind of go flying off the screen, that's because a little puff of wind hit the telescope and opened up the backlash in the gears. It'd be nice to build an observatory one of these days, so I don't need to worry about the wind so much. But you can see now, as we're looking at this image, we're starting to get a blue fringe on the bottom and a red fringe on the top. It's because I've got a device out there called an atmospheric. I think I'm going the wrong way here. An atmospheric dispersion corrector. Yeah, there it is. Because when that light hits the atmosphere at an angle, the atmosphere scatters it like a prism. So, you know, the red light makes it through easier. The blue light gets scattered more, so it kind of spreads it out. And I've got a device on there called a dispersion corrector. It's just a prism that it's reversed related to the atmosphere, so it tries to undo the way the light is bent. And without that atmospheric dispersion corrector, you will get a bad red and blue fringe on it. And you need to adjust it as Mars moves up in the sky and you're looking through less atmosphere. You need to adjust it because now it's overcompensating and the blue is getting sent too far back in the other direction. So I'm going to have to go out there and give it a tweak. You just build one. Hi Scott, what did you build? A dispersion corrector? Planetary is like this. Oh, an observatory. Awesome. Yeah, that's going to be like my final huge project, I think, to build an observatory. Planetary usually looks like this. This isn't great seeing. You will get, you'll get times where, see, we're looking through the jet stream right now. That's a big problem. Because you've got, 150 mile per hour winds with varying temperature, and that plays hell with the light. But yeah, so this is not good seeing right now. But yeah, the planetary is always pretty fuzzy, and then you just stack up thousands of frames of video, and it averages it out to pull more detail out of it than you can see with the naked eye. And yeah, when I do deep sky, the single exposure is actually really noisy. It doesn't look that good. But, you stack a bunch of them up and then it can average out all the pixels to reduce the noise and purify the signal. So yeah, when you're looking at, the raw stuff right out of the camera, it usually does not look that good. You just got to build it up over time to improve the signal. Alright, I'm gonna go give that corrector a tweak here. Be right back. Yeah, that looks better. Now you can see how that color fringing has gone away because we've got the prisms in that corrector aligned to properly undo what the atmosphere is doing to the light here. Need to play with the focus again, it looks like. Now that looks just like bad seeing. I don't want to mess with the focus too much while the seeing is that unstable. All right, good night, Jill. Good night, Michelle. Thanks for tuning in. That looks pretty good. I've never messed with any of this stuff in SharpCap. Seeing monitor. Click the graph to set the threshold level. That's a lot of stuff going on. What about this stuff? Contrast edge detection. 5.6. 5.8. Okay, so this 7.5 focus assistant. That seems pretty helpful and or accurate. 6.9. Man, there's a big ass fly in here. Yeah, it is cool, Trevor. I love space. Every time I'm out there with the telescope, it's just, I don't know, so peaceful. Really, I'll like be stressed about my job and the kids and the wife all day and come home and just sit out there with the telescope for a while and the problems start to seem pretty small. Everything, when I'm looking out at stuff in the universe, everything just kind of seems like it's in its proper place. All the stuff going on day to day just kind of, everything's going to be all right. No matter what, the universe just kind of seems to be unfolding the way it's supposed to, and all this little stuff is just noise that's going to be averaged out. That focus assistant seemed to do a good job. That looks good. But yeah, if you've been watching for a while, you can see how much closer to the middle of the image Syrtis Major is right now, this plane. I did not know Mars's day was that close to the Earth's day. I thought it was like 20 hours as opposed to 24. Oh yeah, the boys love it. I've got some pretty nice planetarium programs on the computer, and they will sit there for hours just looking at stuff, looking at planets, trying to find all the planets. Link, Espen, and Violet all know all the planets' names by heart. They're really interested in it too. Okay. Sorry to make your stupid dog bark, Paul. Good night, brother. Love you. Pyrex planet. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of been a big motivator for me to go as deep into this as I have. Is that, I mean, I love it first of all, but you know, it's kind of a big outlay of time and energy. But you know, I really hope that it's inspiring the kids too. You know, that's a big motivator for me. Like, um, and it seems to be. You know, they like to help me set up. They like to look through it when they get a chance. You know, usually they're in bed early because of school and stuff. But you know, sometimes on the weeknights, on the weekends, if we've got a good night, to set the telescope up, I'll let them stay up. And Kaylee hates it when I do that because they're all pissed off the next day because they didn't get enough sleep. But you know, it's fun to we in the summertime last summer, when it was good viewing for Jupiter, we would call them Jupiter parties, and the kids would just be running around out there crazy all night long with me, and it was a lot of fun. That is pretty good seeing. I am liking what we're seeing here. Not too bad. Looks like the wind's died down a little bit. It's not knocking the telescope all over the place. Hey Ramesh, I've got
According to Wikipedia, Ramesh Arvind is
be
an Indian
quiet, Google. um, I've got a Celestron Edge HD 11, and I've got it on an old Celestron CGE mount. It was the original CGE. It's got a 75-pound payload. Um, but the thing about my CGE is that the computer burnt out on it, so I built an on-step system for it. So the only thing original about my CGE is just the bearings and gears. I built the computer and put new motors and belts and things on it to run the mount. So I've got an Edge HD11 on a heavily modified CGE. And I've got a the rest of the optical train is I've got a PowerMate 2.5 times Barlow, or I guess it's not a Barlow, what they call a focal extender. Not strictly a Barlow lens, but a PowerMate 2.5 into a ZWO atmospheric dispersion corrector, and then we're looking through just a cheap IR UV cut filter here into an ASI 224 color camera. So yeah, that's the photons are going through the 11-inch Edge HD, the PowerMate 2.5, the atmospheric dispersion corrector, the IR cut filter into that. The camera is the ZWO ASI 224. Seems to be doing a pretty good job. Yeah, the seeing has improved dramatically, just like I had hoped it would. Now that it's getting higher into the atmosphere, I'm tempted to switch it back to the IR. I'm going to go switch it to the infrared filter and see just how good it's going to look with that. I'll be right back. Alright, there's Mars in infrared light. Let me get the focus dialed in here. That's getting worse. I think we just hit a patch of bad seeing. That's what that was. Alright, Mars, you can come into focus anytime now. What is going on here? Why does the infrared look so much worse than the color was looking? Yeah, it looks like we just hit some bad seeing. Awesome, Scott. Where are you at? I don't want to touch the focus again because I think what we're seeing is bad seeing and not the actual, because it kind of looks like it's coming into focus. Man, what happened? Ah, Northeast Michigan. I'm lucky. I'm right near Lake Erie, and so I've got a straight shot to the eastern horizon, so I can see things pretty much as soon as they come up. Yeah, we're hitting some really turbulent atmosphere right now. Awesome, you too, Trevor. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I was expecting the infrared to look really good, but it looks like garbage. What's going on here? It looks worse than the color did. Yeah, that's one thing about Michigan, Scott. We got a lot of trees around here. If it wasn't for my yard, I'd be surrounded by trees too. going to get much better than that in infrared. I was expecting it to be a lot better, but oh, Fox Park Observatory, that's great. That's cool. I'm going to go ahead and do a capture here. You know what? I'll do 3 minutes on this and then do a 3 minutes of color. Alright, 1 more minute on this capture. Figures we'd hit some bad seeing as soon as I put the infrared filter on. Nice. Alright, I need to switch filters. I'll be right back. So yeah, I need to pick up a motorized filter. focuser, obviously. Let's try to get this back into focus here. Yeah, we got bad seeing now. That's awesome, Scott, about your telescopes. What do you like to look at? Like, what's your favorite thing to do with your telescopes? Yeah, that son of a gun looks better in the color than it did in the infrared. I don't get it. Why? Yeah, this is really not great seeing. Right. Right. What do you like to take pictures of? Like, what's your favorite picture that you've taken? What are you the most proud of? Huh, writing buffered frames. I've never seen it do that before. Interesting. Must be, yeah, this is a new version of SharpCap. That must be a new thing they added. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, Northern Michigan's got some nice dark skies, buddy. I've done some of my favorite pictures that I've done. I've done from the Huron National Forest, and it is like Bortle 1/2 up there. It's really, really nice and dark. Yeah, yeah, the pinwheel is a great target. I love it. Or the no, M51 is the whirlpool. Yeah, M51 is the whirlpool. Bishop, it's boring. Well, give me some constructive criticism. What can I do? What would you like to Mars to do? Like a tap dance for you? Want Mars to dance around? I can hit the controls here. It's kind of doing a waltz right now. I just did. I made it dance. I'm making it go in and out of focus. Yeah, I can pan it, in different directions on the screen and make it go in and out of focus. That's about all Mars can do. Man, seeing just went to hell. I'm trying to get it back into focus. You're not supposed to be doing anything. You can contemplate. Okay, Bishop 103 just asked, am I supposed to be contemplating something while I'm watching this? I don't know, Bishop. Whatever you need to do to keep the existential dread from setting in, just do whatever you want to do. Oh yeah, AVX is a good mount. So for those of you just tuning in, this region that's going to the north, Bishop wants his money back. Well, okay, you'll have to let me know who you gave money to in the first place, and I'll try to get him to give it back to you. This dark region going to the north of Mars here is Syrtis Major, and that's where the new Mars Perseverance rover is going to land in February. So that's exciting. We're looking at the landing site of the new rover. Bishop 103, do I know you, or are you just a random random heckler? Because you're kind of acting like my buddy Mike Crumley right now. Unfortunately, I don't have the equipment to show you a black hole. Here's the black hole. Okay, I just pointed my telescope at the M87 galaxy and wow, it's really powerful. Good seeing. Here's the black hole I'm looking at with my telescope. Who did you give money to, Bishop? Gotcha. General terms. Man, we had some good seeing about an hour ago, but it's starting to kind of go downhill. Yeah, Bishop, I did know that Mars is closest now to Earth that it'll be for the next 15 years. Actually, it was closer yesterday. So technically right now, well, I mean right now it still is closer. Um but yeah, for the next, week or so, it's going to be really close. And then every opposition for the next 7 years is going to be getting farther and farther away. And then it's going to start getting closer and closer until in 2035, we'll start having really nice oppositions like this. And I will be 55 years old, and hopefully I will be able to live stream. I don't know if I'll live stream. I'm sure there'll be some kind of. What do you think? What kind of technology is going to be around in 15 years that we're going to be using to do stuff like this? Who the hell knows? It's probably going to get streamed directly into our brains. We'll own our own planets. Yeah, just like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The mice will make everyone their own planet. No, probably people like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, they will own planets. Us peasants will still own jack shit. Yeah, I really hope there's a manned or womaned mission to Mars in my lifetime. That would be incredible. Nice guy. Yeah, I've actually got SharpCap. All of this stuff is running on my laptop outside, and I've just got a remote desktop connection with my computer in the house to control it all from in the house, so I don't need to be outside doing this because it's cold out there. So yeah, I apologize if I don't have like very lively commentary. I just when I'm doing this, I just zone out. I just like looking at the planet and just kind of drifting off with my own thoughts. It's more like a meditation experience for me. You know, I don't even like to talk. I don't like people being around me. I just kind of like to be out there with my telescope looking at things. The universe and the solar system, you know, just everything, you know, our own planet, it scales, you know, perfectly. It's just like there's so much going on everywhere that when I'm looking out into the vastness of space with the telescope, you know, it's overwhelming and it's like calming at the same time. But I wanted to do this to just to, you know, give people who don't have a telescope a chance to see Mars. Oh, you can't get Sharp Cap to live stream. Sharp Cap doesn't actually live stream. I'm using OBS. Open Broadcaster Suite. I think that's what it's called. Here, I'll show it to you. This program called OBS. This is what is actually live streaming, and I'm running it on my PC. Oh, that looks neat. Whoa. Anyways, so yeah, I've got a piece of software called OBS, and that's what's live streaming. Just my desktop. And that's just broadcasting my desktop to YouTube. I want to live to focus. What do you mean, Scott? That sounds pretty deep. I want to live to focus on Sharp Cap. I don't get it. Have you been drinking, Scott? I want to focus using Sharp Cap. Sharp Cap doesn't focus. It's got focusing aids. I was just playing around with some of these things. Like this, we'll do a contrast edge detection, and then it'll tell you how close you are to in focus. But I'm actually using a motorized focuser, and then this ASCOM driver for it. Yeah, before, man, it was like I was at like a 10. with my edge detection. Now it's pretty rotten. SharpCap has this focused assistant that will just kind of analyze your live view and tell you how in focus you are. And man, the seeing is bad right now. It's getting worse. So I guess the higher the number, the better with this. So five. No, I'm not capturing right now. Just the live view. Wow, that's crap. It's getting really high in the atmosphere too. You'd think seeing would be getting better, but it seems to be getting worse. Backyard EOS, you mean? Alright, Scott, good night. Thanks for tuning in. Looks like the dispersion corrector needs another tweak. Yeah, if this was a video of me setting off pipe bombs in my backyard, it probably would have about at least 6,000, probably more like the millions. It would go viral pretty quickly, and I would probably get visited by the FBI, which is why I've chosen a telescope as a hobby instead of explosives. The seeing has degraded quite a bit. I am not happy with this. This is garbage. It was looking good like an hour ago. And it's so high in the sky right now. This is like completely counterintuitive. I don't get why it's so bad. Hey, Bishop 103, do you know this outcrop of dark, this dark feature right here is where the new Mars rover is landing. Hey, Ken, I've got a 2.5 times power mate in front of the camera. And for people just tuning in, the seeing has gone to crap. So I apologize for Mother Nature. But this is bad. Let me try to refocus here. Well, it doesn't look terrible. I hope the new rover can draw a giant phallus on Mars. Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to see it from here because it just wouldn't, it'd run out of batteries before it could. Yeah, it's an ASI 224 MC, Ken. And I'm getting 300 frames per second, ostensibly. I don't know if there's some kind of error or something, but I've never gotten a frame rate like that. And seeing looks like it's stabilized a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and try to do a capture here. 4 minutes. Yeah, it's an ASI 224 MC. I've got a 2.5 times power mate, a ZWO atmospheric dispersion corrector, which does need a tweak because I'm seeing some color fringing, some blue, and I should go do that before I do a capture. Yeah, this is stupid. Okay, I'm gonna go tweak my ADC. I'll be right back. Alright, that looks better. Unfortunately, seeing has gone to hell. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, and I'm not sure what the capabilities of the new rover are, strictly speaking. I don't think they would have bothered putting in the capabilities to draw giant penises on Mars. Although that would be something for NASA to consider. But you know, a lot of features like this kind of could be a dick on Mars. The Syrtis Major plateau, it kind of looks like a dick. So maybe they don't need to. I bet if you look hard enough at all celestial bodies, you can find a dick somewhere. They don't. I don't think they need to waste money on drawing them. That looks like about as good as we're gonna get. Try to fine tune it a little bit here. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and do a capture here. 4 minutes. Man, I gotta get some sleep. It's getting late. I'm gonna sign off at midnight. I'm in southeast Michigan, just north of Toledo, Ohio. That is not so good. Oh yeah. Well, good luck to you, Ken. Right, that's a pretty potent combination. I've got an Edge 11 with a 224 MC. I'm not familiar with the 294. Is that what size sensor is that? Is that like a micro 2/3 size sensor? $60,000 frames. That's a lot. Hopefully we can get something out of that. Hey, that's looking pretty good. Oh, that's nice. Let's capture. Come on, seeing. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm kind of seeing some hints of some really nice detail there. How do I like the ADC? It's a necessity. I mean, you've got to use one. Without it, you've got bad color fringing, and you know, not only is your blue channel, your red, green, and blue channels, not only are they not lined up, but they're distorted. So there's no way to even shape it back up. I mean, you've got to use your atmospheric dispersion corrector. Especially with a scope as large as the C11. If you've got like a 6-inch, you probably don't need it as much high up in the sky. But like, you know, with an 11-inch, if it's even below like 70 or 80 degrees, you're going to need the atmospheric dispersion corrector, and they're real simple to use. You just got to make sure that you level it up. Make sure your marker is level, and then you've got those two little pins sticking off the side of it. You level it up so that your mark is level with the horizon, and then you just spread those two pins apart to align the prisms, and then you just look at it. You know, once your color fringing is gone, then you've got it set up right. Mine's starting to get a little out of whack now. I'm seeing some red up here and some blue down here. I'll need to go give it a tweak. Actually, I'm probably just going to go to bed pretty soon. But, yeah, if you're doing imaging, you've got to have an atmospheric dispersion corrector, or else your colors are going to be screwed up. But yeah, the main thing is to figure out where your atmospheric dispersion corrector should have some slack in it past center, so you can, what you need to do is figure out where it's going to be level when you're at your extreme, when you're at the meridian, and when you're over at pointing at the horizon, and then set it so that you won't need to rotate the whole assembly, so that its range is in such a way that you can adjust it throughout the night without having to rotate the whole thing in your eyepiece holder. They've usually, all the ones I've seen have have enough play where you can put it where it needs to be, and then just use the leveling. You should have like a little spirit level on it, and then you just use that and then move your sliders without having to adjust the whole assembly. So yeah, you want it set up so that you'll be able to use its full range of motion without having to loosen up your set screws and twist the whole thing. We're starting to get some moments of pretty good seeing there. Let me see if I can get the focus a little bit better. I'm going to try to dial the focus in one more time and do one more capture and then probably sign off. Now I'm just moving the focuser a little bit at a time and then watching it to see if the seeing improves enough. That is looking pretty good, I think. Maybe not. Oh, this is so hard to judge. What was a mosquito trying to bite my beer? That is getting close. Bad seeing. Bad seeing. I'm trying to get it in focus to do one more capture before I sign off and go to bed, but the seeing will just not calm down. And it's almost at zenith. You'd think we'd have good seeing right now, but not so much. And I need a little bit better seeing to get my focus dialed in, but it's not really participating. That's good. Okay, one more capture. And then we'll call it a night. Hopefully the seeing perks up a little bit. Had some brief moments there. Ugh, crappy. right, Jeremy. Good luck with your Dobsonian. You say you set it up in an alleyway. I'm trying to picture that. Do you have to wait till Mars is like between the buildings there? Right, right, right. All right. Well, I am done. I gotta get some sleep. Uh, Thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody who did. Keep looking up. Clear skies.